Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tourism Afrikania, promoting tourism and hospitality education in Africa. And today is quite exciting because we're going to be having one of the most passionate industry experts by name, Ms. Loretta, Ms.B. It's actually so much exciting today. This is going to be one of the is basically for the mentees in hospitality and tourism, including travel as well. So we actually have her on board. It's basically going to be an exciting topic, and to stay tuned and get connected. And sorry that we are coming actually behind schedule. This wasn't planned, but we're going to enjoy this section today. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is tourism. Okay, I think we have there online. Tourism and hospitality expert have you here. This is Tourism Africania, promoting tourism and hospitality education in Africa. So it's exciting having you, Ms. B, and
Thank you so
we
much.
hope a lot there today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. All
Thank
right,
you.
viewers, it's your mentor. It's your, he has a lot of title. Basically, I don't know how I'm going to start to,
Don't worry. Let me
bring the
let me
code.
free let me free you from it. I will do the introduction. Can you hear me clearly?
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. I can
Can you
hear
hear
you.
can you hear okay, fantastic. So good afternoon, good morning to you, everybody here, depending on where you're connecting with us. It's a pleasure to be here. Michael, thank you so much for honoring me to be here on your platform to talk about this topic. I would say a fantastic topic that I look forward to talking about it today, really. I think it just hits a lot of things that I love talking about. So let's see if this moment we have will be sufficient. So that said, really, I hope you are there with me. And like Michael was trying to let you know, I'm a trainer, I'm a coach. I would not change this hat for minutes wasted. And 1,000+ minutes. Michael, are you there? Sorry, there was a bit of a glitch, but we have continued
Sorry, let me
anyway.
call you back. I
So,
can't hear me. Let me call you back.
said what? Okay,
Hello,
okay. So, Michael, okay, are you there? So, imagine a
Miss B.
thousand plus minutes like I was saying, so 1,000+ minutes of potentials, of opportunities, of the capacity to build ourselves. That's personal development, not to talk about the time wasted. Now, what am I trying to say here in terms of these numbers and work? That amount of work is job productivity. And if it's not utilized properly or it's not understood that it's time going, there will be a problem. Now, having said so, I don't want us to, how should I put it, not appreciate the words in this title. So I want to break it down before we get to the particular people feel, or we want other people to feel it for us as well. So, and then a passion for work means that you have this urge, this desire inside, this and the positive passion to serve us, isn't it? So we're still looking at, in general, in relation to the terms in this topic. Now, let's think about the fact that all these things, for job productivity, like I said, would you want to have a frowny person or somebody that doesn't have a really, it's about service. And sometimes we don't really think about it. We don't realize that what are we really doing there? We're serving people. And when you get employed, you are expected to serve people. It's not, you're not expected to, should I say, come and sew clothes or whatever, or whatever it is that you want to think about that is different from service. But we find that some people feel inferior, feel they are degrading themselves, etc. Let's leave that aside again. Let's think about the word service that I've just introduced, because our industry is the industry for service. What is service? Service is something that you render to somebody unconditionally. It's not by condition, because it's not as if the person is going to beg you to serve. You want to. You have that desire to be there for the person. So it's unconditional, it's uncalculated. You want to serve with all your heart and with a lot of joy. And sometimes we don't understand the fact that I like I'm a trainer and I like to make it very visual and clear to us. And that's why I say we're going from general to particular. We've looked at hours of work. We have looked at the fact that what is love and passion. We have looked at the fact that what is hospitality in itself, and which we are trying to look at that it's a service industry. So now let's look at service. Is service so unique to hospitality so that we've never been doing it all our lives? No, because you think about it, right from where or whoever we were born to, parents were serving us, taking care of us, and then when we became capable, we started serving parents, started serving siblings, and then we get to interacting with others. We might serve friends, serve colleagues. Then we get to work, we're serving people as well in different capacities. And then by the time you get to a profession like hospitality, you are serving in a professional way. So it's professional service, and it has its criteria, it has its joy. So we are not doing anything out of place. And that's why it will be sad such that in terms of relating it to job productivity, which we will still come to, if I'm doing a service in hospitality, travel, and tourism, and I think I'm doing something that is beneath me or degrades me, that means I haven't understood what service is, because service has been done all my life. We have all been serving in one way or the other. So we need to have that clear. In our industry, we're serving in different capacities. Just like the taxi driver is serving, the hairdresser is serving, everybody is giving a service, and it's all professional service. Now, that is service, and there's a need to understand that in relation to this topic I'm saying. Let's look at it from another perspective. Job role performance. When everybody is employed in a particular establishment, you have a job role to play. And that job entails some level of service, some level of passion in order for you to be productive. Because if you do not love what you are doing, you cannot share that joy with others. And when we say job role, the key thing our job role is playing in our industry is that we want to end up with customer satisfaction. You are not there as an actor to be acting. We are there to satisfy customers with all these things we are talking about. It's all about the customer, because we say the customer is king. And without the customer, there's no service, there's no pay, there's everything about that whole structure disappears without any customer. So we're there to serve. So if that is the key thing, customer satisfaction, where we have a role to play, we have to also serve. How does that now take us through all the things that I'm saying? We would need to have self-knowledge. And Aristotle say, know thyself. If we don't know ourselves and what we're supposed to be doing in our job role, then we're not going to be able to serve adequately. Now, let's tie it all up now. And I want us to look at it from three angles or three factors that are key to this topic. First, we have to have the passion. Like we've said, uncontrolled passion is that you love what you're doing and you want to serve people unconditionally. It's not based on condition. It's not because it's your boss that is there. It's not because, just name it. It's just that you want to serve, because like we said, we have all been serving somewhere along the line. And it's not a new or unique thing that we're doing. Unless we begin to feel inferior, subservient, or demeaning in any way, then it's because we want to. We haven't understood the meaning of service. We're serving, and it's, fantastic. So the moment we understand service and the moment we have the passion, that's fantastic. Now, let's look at the fact that we said self-knowledge. That means the moment you know yourself, you're enough. Even if somebody, I have people that will say, is it because I didn't pass my WAEC? That's why I'm here, or that's why I'm treated that way. You haven't understood yourself. It's not about your WAEC or whatever. Or some people might feel they are not enough. You are definitely enough. Anybody can serve, and you can be there giving the service without thinking about all these things. Really. So now, what else comes to my mind? The topic says love, passion for work. As I said, the panacea for job performance, job productivity. Basically, we're saying, what's the solution? And the solution is simple. One, you have to have passion. You have to love what you're doing. You have to be somebody that, you are not calculating. You are not thinking of, are they going to appreciate me or not appreciate me? You are there because you want. And because you want to serve people, you like looking out for people, you like ensuring that they have a good time and have a good experience. So that's key. And the moment that passion is there, like we said, the topic, which I had written here so that I don't forget, the topic says that love, passion for work in hospitality. When you already have the passion, you know yourself, and you know you're giving a service, then you are going to now begin to develop your capacity to deliver, because you're not thinking about any negatives. You're not feeling inferior. You're going to be all out, to be creative, to be innovative, to give yourself unconditionally, whether people appreciate you or don't appreciate you, because you just love doing what you're doing, which is serving people. So with that, you become more productive, you become more visible, become more recognized, because you are not doing it for any selfish reason, because you want to serve, and it's beautiful. And if we all think about, maybe the best shop or best experience we've had with people, what tends to be or makes it best? Because you meet somebody that is so big-hearted or nice or friendly, has a wonderful attitude, and you want to go back to that particular place for a service day as well, because the person has really been outstanding. So in a nutshell, like I was saying, those three factors are very key. Your passion, definitely. Your knowledge about yourself, because if you cannot give what you don't have, really. If we're not happy and joyful people, we cannot make other people happy or joyful. So everybody, it's within. The passion, the love comes from within. It's not based on any external. And when I say external, there are a million and one. Some people's like, okay, this boss does not appreciate me, or they're not smiling at me. No, I would not say we should look out for such things like that. So it's always about where does your passion lie? Do you have self-knowledge about yourself? And do you understand service? So if you don't understand these three things, there might be a lot of issues. So, but if you understand these three things, then we are saying here, again, I come back to the top. It says love, passion for work, hospitality, travel, and tourism, a panacea for job role productivity. So if the first three exist, the solution, then you're going to be productive. But if the first three are missing because you have some interior or negative traits or negative feelings or emotion, then of course, we're not going to be productive in our job role, because nobody needs to drive us. And to sort of pause and end, I will say, now I will say, it's what stands out for me. I like to use to explain to people is what some people have coined SMART into different things. For me, SMART, when it comes to this sort of area of being productive and not looking at anything that might worry, because you always have a difficult guest, you always have difficult situations, there will always be things, because hospitality is just dynamic, it's wonderful, no day is the same. The moments of truth vary, so you're going to always have ups and downs. So smart working and smart, time in our industry is about S, smiling, have a great sense of humor and be a smiling person, because I don't think any of us wants anybody that is frowning or gloomy to serve us. And if you don't want that, then we can't give that to customers. And for me, is make it happen. Now, what do I mean by make it happen? Make every guest that you encounter, make them experience a joyful and happy experience. Let them be able to not just review, they had a great time. So you made it happen for them, because you can also make it, you can also make it not happen for them by frowning, by not being nice, by not delivering and as well. Attitude. The attitude counts. Like I said, are you somebody that is approachable? Are you gloomy? Do you have a great attitude that everybody wants to interact with you? So that's an A for you. Are we reliable? And we can look at that from all sorts of angles. Can your boss rely on you? Can you rely on yourself? Can your customers rely on you? And like I said, it could be anything. Somebody is a resident guest and asks you for something. Does it take you the next day to remember? Oh, I forgot. I didn't remember you asked me. So are we reliable, really? And then T, to be timely and punctual in delivering what I call outstanding, exceptional, and excellent service, so that your guests are wowed all the time, because when you are there, you're the best version of yourself, and then you have already shown them that you are a productive person and they can rely on you. So on that note, I think there's so much still that we can say, and I leave it to Michael to come up with any other thing he wants us to talk about. Thank you.
All right. That was a great one. I'm not saying you've already done justice to the whole topic. Yeah, but then I would want to look at the practical aspect of it, where a situation where you are actually working with passion. I got to interact with someone, and the person was like, okay, you place who is working in a hospitality setting, and someone, a graduate in hospitality, and then you have a graduate probably in finance and banking. I have a graduate in accounting. I have another graduate who probably did engineering or so. Now, this set of persons actually graduated from the same year. Now, when you look at their life in the next 5 years, you discover that of the hospitality, no matter how passionate this person is, his life and standard behind. I'm talking about both financially and life makeup and all of that. This person who is certain looks behind than his or her counterpart. Now, how can this passion be sustainable to that? How can it be sustainable?
Right. Now, you see, Michael, passion is not, will I say, staged. Because, like I said, it's an emotion and it's from within. So it's either you have it, there could be obstacles. Like some people can feel sad this moment and tomorrow they feel happy. It's like mood. Some of it, sometimes we don't have control, but in order to be able to control it, we have to intentionally put the effort. Because it's just like any other passion, like anger. If you don't control anger, anger is a passion. You will hit somebody, or you might even, people have killed people because of that kind of passion. So it has to be intentionally managed. And if you find yourself in an establishment that maybe you don't like, and we can only talk about maybe one case or few cases here. It's case by case. Whatever the circumstances or the factors that surround what is making you lack passion has to be assessed. How did you get into the job role, for instance? Did you get in there because you really wanted to do the job, or somebody forced you, or maybe you're not even happy there? All those are going to be still factors that influence and also have an impact on if that passion will be sustainable. So if you are able to manage a number of all those other factors surrounding this passion that is giving you problem, then it doesn't mean you cannot go ahead like the other people there. It means that either you are not intentionally controlling what is affecting you and making you to be gloomy. Because
to cut it short, I'm sorry to cut
no problem. Yes, I'm listening.
Okay, this is what I'm trying to say. In your hospitality setting, it's been discovered that well, I say in terms of your, let's say, payroll or
Yes.
salary kind of,
Yes. Yes.
and allowance that are involved in the industry. Let me say, I'm not talking about most of them, either 5-star or on some class of hotels, but you
Yeah.
discover that you really cannot compare with the counterparts who are actually in the other sectors. I don't know
Now,
if you understand.
Michael, okay, you see, I understood what you are saying, but let me now sort of like rephrase what I think you are saying. The first instance, you mentioned the fact that you could have a variety of people from different other fields, isn't it? And then you have a hospitality person. That's one perspective. And then you begin to see that the person from the hospitality person maybe doesn't seem to be doing as vibrantly as the others that are not in the hospitality setting. Now, in this other instance, you're telling me now, you're saying, let's look at welfare, for instance. If all that is not in place, will that not affect somebody's passion? Those two things absolutely can affect. But what we are also saying is the fact that we have to sometimes take that not aside, but as, okay, this is one factor. And how did I arrive there? Because our job in the industry is a contract. You didn't just fall inside there for free. You had a job contract that was presented to you that come and work in this place. Perhaps you were not lucky enough to get to know the establishment to see what their work culture or whatever is, and then you found yourself in there, isn't it? And then by the time you start working, you start getting a bit disgruntled because a number of things are not in place. We're not writing those things up. Those things are definitely hard truths and things that affect. But at the same time, we are saying, even in the midst of that, if we're going to look at what is your job role and everything you're doing that has to do with job role productivity about is linked to a customer that doesn't know whatever it is you're going through, or should you even perceive that there's any problem, because that customer has come there for a service. So you can't take whatever that annoyance or upset or emotional trauma you're finding to load it on the guest, which can happen because somehow it might come out. But if you are intentional about what you're doing and you realize that, okay, yes, maybe I might not be happy in this job because they're not paying me well, but because I have a duty to this guest, I can go and be exceptional, delivering excellent service, and go back to my establishment to solve my issues. And if they don't attend to my issues, I've got a choice. Either I leave or I decide to stay and enjoy it and hope for the best. Because what I know is that no matter whatever the situation, we will always develop a capacity. At the beginning, I was saying, let's think about the fact that how many hours do all of us spend in our workplace? A minimum of 8 hours. If you're 8 hours of every day and maybe 7 days a week, maybe that some people work for 6 hours, you are in this, I don't know, traumatic passion, whatever, and you're just wasting that energy, worried and disgruntled and gloomy. Multiply that by 52 weeks. You're wasting a lot of time. But you can turn that around and intentionally say, okay, even if I'm not being paid well, whatever, let me see if I can develop my capacity in the meantime and start looking for other options. Are we together? So it's about being intentional. It's about how we decide to approach whatever the situation is. And that's why I say self-knowledge, understanding about service, understanding about what you are there for. All these things help us to be resilient and to know how to handle each situation as it comes. Because we will never be able to say we can't serve, even in those situations. We see people with success story and they tell you what they have gone through to be where they are today, because it shows you it's doable. But it doesn't write out the fact that there can be issues. We're not saying there can be issues, but those issues have to be more or less dealt with in the appropriate place with the appropriate people. It cannot now affect the service we are going to give our guests, because we are an establishment that we are supposed to be giving home away from home service. And everybody should feel that fantastic and experience that fantastic experience when they're with us. So that's what I would say.
Problem. Okay, so just a simple other question. Can we say passion is enough for productivity in the industry?
I will say yes and no. Because why would I say so? Like we said, passion is uncontrollable, and we know that somebody can be happy today, and maybe the next moment something makes the person gloomy. So I wouldn't say it's a norm from that, because the moment that you are not happy, then it means I'm going to get a negative service. But it's good when you are more passionate. For me, it's like a plus. One, but the first plus is first that I want to serve and I want to do this job. Then, if you now have passion in additional, wow, fantastic. Then we have, it's a goal, as they say, because now you are serving the people because you want, it's your job, you've trained for it, you're competent, you have the skill, and then you are now even more passionate. So you're going to be creative, you're going to be imaginative, you're going to be thinking of all sorts of things to make people happy, because that's what you love doing, and you will do it unconditionally, whether you are paid or not paid, whether people appreciate them, because you just love it. You know, just think also maybe like our mothers are not paid, but they are always constantly looking out for us. They want us to be happy, they want us to be comfortable, they want to cook the best meals for you, etc., etc., etc. And it's just wonderful. So that's just it. I would say sometimes it's a norm because it gives you that plus edge, but the most important thing, you want to serve and you want to be there for people. And that's fantastic, more than even not having any passion. You can develop the passion along the way as well. When you now see people are enjoying what you're doing or love seeing you attending to them, and then we can grow in this passion that was not there before.
Beautiful. So now, basically, I must come down to real life situations in our various schools. Right. Yeah, because this mentorship is basically not just for students, but it's basically for students in in hospitality, travel, and tourism who are in various universities, in Africa. Now, we have actually discovered there are various students who actually found themselves in this department or let's say
or sector.
Not because but they just found themselves there. Now, how can we inculcate this passion in them to understand? When I was in school, I met a lot of them who were like that to the point we have to start a magazine that actually propagates this industry for them to understand how lucrative it can be, both entrepreneurial and career-wise and all of that. So, how can we get to understand, knowing fully that the industry today, most times, does not actually pay so well as it's supposed to. It is said in hospitality formula that a happy staff is a happy guest or something like that. So basically, how can
we grow the passion? Well, I think, you see, as a trainer, now we talk about a student-centered learning, in the sense that, yes, of course, we can help them or help any individual develop the passion for hospitality, but at the same time, there are two ways I want to look at it. There's a self-driven part, and there's a self kind of enhancing part. Let me put it that way. There are many, many ways that this passion can be developed. First and foremost, I think it starts also by the fact that, like I said, the self-driven part. How did you get into this industry? Did you get in there because you wanted, or somebody encouraged you to? Now, those two things will make a difference also, even how you're going to drive somebody. If somebody has entered because somebody sort of like put pressure or encourage them to, the person might enter without any knowledge of what they're about. And that's why, thank God, you are a hospitality career coach, and we're talking about mentorship. I mentor people a lot, and you will see that sometimes it's just about knowledge. They don't have the knowledge of what even they have entered. So they need somebody to help them to understand first what's really happening in this career path that I've even chosen. And unfortunately, because we have an educational system and curriculum that it doesn't sort of develop you for the application and sometimes even for the real life work. So you've just gone through a kind of curriculum that you've just crammed things and learned things. And if you're even unfortunate that your institution doesn't even have facilities and hasn't exposed you in any way to any real life thing, you're going to just come out with qualification and theory, like people will say. Even though I'm not of the school that agrees that we just come out with theory, because just like any other field, hospitality students, I would say fortunately, can only serve or do their training in a hospitality establishment. So whether we like it or not, as industry stakeholders, we have some listening here, we need to give them a chance to come into the industry and experience the real life, whatever. So even if somebody comes in with theory, she has to learn somewhere. The doctors don't go to the carpentry shop to go and learn medicine or how to do what they have to do practically. They've got to learn it in the hospital. So, and a hospitality person cannot go and be training in another field or another establishment except a hospitality place. So if we're employing all the engineers and and then we're not taking our hospitality students to develop their passion, then there's a problem with us. We're going to have a problem with our workforce sooner or later, because they need to come and learn within the different setup. And if they have been unfortunate that they have not learned anything, somebody has just encouraged them to do the course, then they need to come into that environment. And that can also be one aspect that will help them to develop a passion. I've seen students that maybe after their 1 month IT or 2 months IT, they have gone to and said, I didn't know this how it is. It's so interesting. I like front office. I like this and that. And you begin to see somebody that didn't have a clue about anything begin to grow and is so passionate and is so interested in everything about the industry. And that's fantastic, really. So I would want to encourage definitely the industry, also people there, to see that as a very important contact point where students can develop passion, depending on where they have come from. Even they might have even come from a place where they know, but they just didn't know how it feels like to be in the real world. And by the time they get there, it's amazing, the transformation that can take place. So that's one key and fantastic area that passion can be developed from any category that comes, along the way. Now, that said, like I said, you have mentoring, because this particular young person or this particular individual might not have any idea of what our industry is about. So you've got to mentor, you've got to coach, you've got to encourage, you've got to motivate. And that now becomes what? The group of the different people that person is engaging with as professionals in the industry or as people that know is very key as well and important. Because if in any way we put off that person, or we don't give a full attention, or we don't give that full encouragement, we might lose that person, because the person says, well, this place doesn't look interesting or whatever, and off you go. Now, you mentioned things of money that, yes, it's true. Some people might feel that we're not well paid at the moment, or things are not so buoyant financially, but I will say that is yes and no, depending on what you've done. I've seen, which is somebody I use as example in different forums are talking, a 17-year-old girl that had just applied for hospitality. She hadn't started her course, and just because she was smart with her phone and the little skills she has in her mother's kitchen, is even making money now more than some of you and I can tell you. So it depends on each individual and how proactive, how intentional, and the different things and opportunities we see, because we all know it, opportunities lie around. So there are people that are entrepreneurial or business people in this industry and are making money, and it's the same industry. There are some people that will tell you they are sitting down, that they have nothing to do. What a pity. I have students that have been training that even before they finish their course, they're already doing business and are making money. So I wouldn't say there's no money. I have a student now, she has other talent, she's combining with hospitality, and my gosh, she's making almost like, will I say, more than 30,000 per week, sometimes per month, and she's still studying. So it's possible, it's doable, there's nothing that is possible. People just need to be helped with the knowledge to see that is the, and of course, they also have to be realistic, because it's not about, like, I am one speaker was saying somewhere where I was listening, said, look, even as females or as individuals, we can have it all, but we might not have it at once, at the same time. We need to, with time, build it gradually. But if we build it in a right way and with the appropriate knowledge, we can get there. So I believe in going slow to get success fast, if possible, but not rushing things, understanding the industry, getting the right knowledge, getting mentors, etc., etc. And many people don't even understand that they need to go and get information. Now, those are now categories that want. We have other categories of people in our industry that they don't want. That's how I put it. So nobody can push them. So it's until when they decide that they want to arrive wherever they want to arrive, then they would begin to move. So these other parts are the ones that really they know. Maybe somebody has made them come into the industry. They haven't had the opportunity to get the knowledge to understand what it's about. And by the time you start mentoring such people, you see passionate individuals in, beyond what you can even imagine. I can assure you. So, like I said, I think that's what I will say on that. If we're to develop passion, our industry is important, encouraging those that come there, ensuring that when they are there during the IT, that they get a feel of what it will be like to work in the industry, and they're happy to always come back. Mentors are important, definitely. Individuals themselves are important by wanting to seek knowledge to understand better the career path they have chosen also. Because if you don't, try to learn, relearn and unlearn every day, you will never improve or understand where you're about or what you're doing. And I believe in asking questions. We never go wrong by asking questions. So Michael, over to you.
All right, thank you so much. I think if I should give you the whole of the day, I know your knowledge will not run dry,
It will be a pleasure to talk. Definitely, definitely. So it's been a pleasure.
All right. Actually, this is Tourism Afrikania, promoting tourism and hospitality education in Africa. And here we have a great mentor and hospitality consultant. It has been a great and exciting moment with you.
Thank you.
I guess whoever that is connected has actually gotten, one or two knowledge from you. And I guess students will also use this, this video once it's been uploaded. It has been so exciting, and the knowledge has been. Thank you so much for coming on board. Hope to see you soon on this.
Same here, Michael.
It's a great supporter of this platform. So we shall get to that point. All right. Thank you so much for coming.
Well done. Well done. And you take care and take it easy.
All right. It's okay.
All right. Okay. Bye for now. And dear audience, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure. I hope we have managed to convince you about a few things. So please stay smart and continue discovering hospitality. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Take care. Take care. Take care. All right.